boots and this red plastic hat that's a little too large. I start to think about maybe getting a job and making some cash and being in charge, because it's career day and I'm here to say what I'll be someday when I grow up. It's career day and I'm here to say what I'll be someday when I grow up. Hit a baseball, kick a football, gonna grow so tall when I grow up. Be a princess, find a treasure chest, gonna be the best when I grow up. It's career day and I'm here to say what I'll be someday when I grow up. It's career day and I'm here to say what I'll be someday when I grow up. Be a doctor or a teacher, be a leader when I grow up. Be a circus clown, gonna build this town. I'll be world renowned when I grow up. It's career day and I'm here to say what I'll be someday when I grow up. It's career day and I'm here to say what I'll be someday when I grow up.
Hi boys and girls, and happy career day. My name is Ariel and I'm here to talk to you about what a CCMA is. A CCMA is a Certified Clinical Medical Assistant. In a nutshell, we are the ones that will typically bring you back when you go to the doctor's office to your exam room. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to ask you your name and your date of birth. This helps us to ensure that we have the right patient for the right doctor visit. The second thing we're going to do is we're going to take your vitals. Your vitals consist of taking your blood pressure, your pulse, your respirations, your oxygen, and just making sure at a quick glance that everything looks okay on the surface. This gives a good underlying foundation for the doctor to know that everything at a quick glance is doing all right. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to ask you what brings you in today. For a lot of you, you're going to be there probably for just a well check, or maybe, I'm sorry guys, a shot. Yep, that's me. I'm the one that gives the shots. So sorry, but you really do need them. And also, they only hurt for a little tiny bit. I promise, it doesn't last. It's like a pinch and you're done. Then, we're gonna make sure that everything is updated in your chart, your medical records chart. We want to make sure that all your medication is current, that we know exactly what you're taking, the dosage, and how often you're taking. Aside from that, we want to make sure you know why you're taking it, how often you should take it, and just make sure that you are taking it. Because let's face it, we don't always take the medicine we're supposed to, do we? Now, you might also ask, what else do I do? Is that it? Is that all that entails? No. We also help the doctors in any procedures that they may need. And that can require sometimes helping them if you have to get stitches, or just helping you to assist cleaning out your ears, or maybe you need to know how to take a shot if you're diabetic. we're going to be there to educate you and make sure you know exactly how to do those things. Becoming a CMA or CCMA requires a high school graduation, high school diploma, or a GED. High school diploma and GED is the first line. Then you have to attend either an online class or an accredited college that once you graduate that program, you need to go to take the state board. The state board requires a fee of anywhere from $149 to $159. The state board is 200 questions, and you must pass in order to be a certified medical assistant and work in a facility. The average salary in the state of Pennsylvania for a certified medical assistant is $16.25. The annual average is about $25,876. Now, it can take anywhere from 9 months to 3 years to become a certified medical assistant. Just depends on what program you enroll in. The best thing about my job is I get to educate people on how to stay healthy and just maintain a good health overall, and educate them in any lack of information that they may have. The worst part about my job is they don't always listen, just like sometimes you guys may not listen to your teacher or to your parents. So that's the worst part. Now, I started out as a certified medical assistant because I was a CNA previously, a certified nurse aide, and I started as a certified nurse aide at 16, and I wanted to be able to climb the healthcare ladder for better opportunities for myself in a fast-growing career. What I want you to take away from this video is anytime you have any questions, write them down on a piece of paper and take them with you to the doctor's office. The only dumb question is the one not asked. We want you to ask questions. We want you to be educated, and we want you to be open and honest so that we can give you the best treatment possible. We also want you to make sure that you are taking any medications the correct way, okay? So I hope you guys have an awesome career day, and just remember to have fun. Bye-bye,
My name
guys.
is Emily, and I am going to talk to you today about my career in cosmetology. So a cosmetologist is someone who does hair, makeup, skincare, manicures, pedicures, any of the above that I am licensed to do, to be able to do. My typical day at the salon, I would say, would be going in, getting ready for my shift, and the day consists of haircuts, hair colors, pedicures, manicures, whatever's on my schedule. I do work by appointments, or walk-ins if there is any. But I mainly work by appointments, so I pretty much know ahead of time like what I have going on that day. I could have 15 haircuts in a row, or I could have 3 colors and haircuts. Every day looks different for me, so it all depends on my schedule and what everyone is getting done that day. My education and training, so I went to school during my sophomore, junior, and senior year of high school to a vo-tech. I'm from Pennsylvania, so we went to a school called the Franklin County Career and Technology Center, where I spent half a semester each year of those 3 years in my cosmetology class. At the end of that is when once I had my 1,250 hours that I needed for the state of Pennsylvania in order to take my boards and certification, I then went and did my state testing where I became certified. And then also we do additional training throughout the year in the salon, whether we go to hair shows and sit in classroom trainings, or we have educators come to the salon and educate us on new products, new color, new techniques, anything to keep us up to date with the hair care needs. Starting salary for a cosmetologist all depends on how much you want to work. I would say a full-time hairdresser starting out, until you build a clientele and working on commission, because we do work at a 50% commission or up, and until you get your clientele built up and are fully working on commission, you can make anywhere from $23,000 to $25,000 starting out, and honestly, the salary is endless from there. You can make $50,000, you can make $100,000 a year. It all depends on the level of education you have, the training that you can do, the techniques you can do, the amount of clientele you do, and also it depends on your location. So if you're in a very like New York City or DC, in a very big city, like, you obviously will pay more and charge more for your services versus somebody in a smaller town, in a rural area. So it all depends on your location for salary, but your normal around a rural area, you're looking at between $23,000 and $25,000, and go up from there. The best thing about my career, I would say, is meeting the new people. I like meeting new people. I like hearing people's stories. I like getting to know people and just make them feel beautiful and love themselves even more. When their hair looks good, you feel good. The worst thing about my job, I would say, is sometimes you just can't ever make somebody happy, even if you do their hair the way that they want it done, the way that they tell you to do it, and you do exactly that, but they're still not happy. I would say that is the worst part of my job, because not that you did anything wrong, but it's just, it kind of bothers you or upsets you whenever somebody doesn't like their hair, even though you did what they asked for. I would say that is one of the worst things. Another worst thing is, I have clientele that I've been in the hair business now for 15 years. I've been doing hair, and I would say another worst thing is you get to know your customers and they come back to you and you get to know their family. And when you have a customer that, passes away, that's another bad thing, because your customers are like family, and that's a worst thing. One of the worst things about my job is getting close to somebody, and then, if they pass away, you almost feel that like that was your own family that had passed away. So I would say those are two of the worst things about my job that if I could change, I would, but I can't. My why for being in my career, I would say, is I love to make people look beautiful, whether it's just coloring their hair or just cutting their hair, or even them getting married on their special day. I love being able to do the wedding makeup and the wedding hair, and just seeing that their face light up and just know that they feel and look beautiful is a why. I also like that I have a very flexible schedule. I can pretty much make my own schedule and work what I can and what I want to work. You know, if I have to take off, you know, a weekend and not work, then I have to schedule accordingly, which, you know, in returns I might have to work later or work more through that week prior to taking off the weekend on that Saturday. Also, I work in a private salon, so private salons are typically closed on Sundays and Mondays, so that's my typical weekend. Unless I need to take a Saturday off, then you have Saturday, Sunday, and Monday off, so that's always nice. Let's see, what else? My why, honestly, it's just being around the people. I just love what I do. I just love making people beautiful is ultimately the reason that I choose and my why on why I chose my career. Any other information about my career is if you choose to want to go in to being a hairdresser, you know, just know at first it's rough. It's hard to start out. You will have to work and make minimum wage or a little bit above minimum wage starting out, but just know that the more effort that you put forth in your business, in your career, the better the outcome is. So if you want to work more, and work harder to get people in the door and to, you know, get advertised, you know, people's hair that you do, that's your advertisement. And the more people you get in, even if you have to do their hair at a discounted rate, if your employer allows you that to get more people in, to get your name out, that is how you build your business. And you build your business accordingly how much work you put into the business. If you don't put in the work, you're not going to like the outcome. So you got to put the work into the business to be able to be successful and love what you do. So that is, I believe, everything that I have for you today. Good luck on your virtual career day that you guys are doing. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Miss Lacee Kidwell. I'm the school therapist at Widmire Elementary. My official title is a provisionally licensed counselor in the state of West Virginia, and I'm working towards my full licensure. A typical day in my job looks like meeting with students both individually and in a group setting to provide counseling services. I went to school for a bachelor's degree first, and then I got my master's degree in clinical mental health counseling, and now I'm working on being supervised and gaining more training to become a fully licensed counselor, which requires 2,000 hours of work with clients. Potential salary for a fully licensed counselor in the state of West Virginia is about $45,000 a year, but that could vary less or more. The best thing about my job is I love my work with students, and I love to help others. So counseling is a great career for me. I wouldn't say there's anything that's the worst thing about my job, but it is easy to get burnout and tired if you don't take care of yourself when you're helping others. I chose this career because I wanted to help others, and I've really benefited from the work I do, but I also make sure I take care of myself. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Nurse CJ, and welcome to Career Day. I can't be there with you in person, and I can't bring you to work with me. But this is what I look like when I go to work every day because of COVID. So since I am in a safe area, I'm going to take this off so that we can talk a little bit about what I do every day. So I do have to wear gloves to keep my hands safe and free from germs or anything that I may come in contact with while I take care of patients. So I'm going to go ahead and remove my gloves. And again, because I'm not taking care of any patients in my home, I'm just going to put those down. I also have on a gown. Many times we have to wear gowns when we take care of our patients because we're not certain what we would come in contact with when we take care of them, anything that we may touch. We're also wearing face shields because our face shields keep our eyes protected and also keep my mask nice and clean. And then again, the masks, everybody is wearing a mask nowadays, so everybody is having to wear those so that we don't breathe in anything that's unhealthy for us. So again, welcome. Thank you for taking the time to learn what it's like to be a nurse in this crazy world, and also what it takes to be a nurse. So there are different levels of nursing, different types of nursing. I've been a nurse for 23 years, and my nursing initials are RN BSN ICP. What that means is that I'm a registered nurse and that I have a Bachelor of Science in Nursing. So that requires 4 years of college. So after you get finished with high school, you would go further to college, and there is a 2-year level nurse, an associate degree registered nurse, and then there's a 4-year degree nurse. There's also a certificate nurse, which is an LPN, and you could certainly do that as well. And each level of nursing allows you to do different things and become different types of specialties. So like my specialty is ICP, and what that means is Infection Control Preventionist. So I get to do something a little bit different than maybe an associate degree level nurse, or maybe a licensed practical nurse would get to do, because I have a little bit of a different level of education. So I want to talk to you just a little bit about nursing, because it's changed, it's evolved, and it's a little bit more than just our cool uniforms. And you know, we don't just take care of sick people. That's not just what we do. And you know, in healthcare, there's many specialties. I've taken care of a lot of healthy people. And you think, you know, why would a nurse need to take care of healthy people? Well, when you think about it, I've delivered babies as a nurse. And babies certainly, not every baby's sick. We deliver very, very healthy babies. Moms are very healthy. So you could be a nurse that takes care of babies. And that would be a wonderful thing, or a wonderful type of nurse to be. I've been a teacher as a nurse. You know, if you want to become a nurse, you certainly need someone to show you how to do that. So you could be a teacher as a nurse. I have been what we call an occupational health nurse. So I worked in a factory where they made cars. And sometimes those workers that build the cars would get injured or hurt. So they needed a nurse. So I worked in a big factory at one point and took care of those workers. And you know, I worked in a hospital. I've done ER, so I have truly taken care of a lot of injuries. If maybe, you know, someone was sick and came in through the ER, I have done that as well. And then now, my current job is that I get to travel everywhere. I'm a travel nurse, I'm a travel consultant, I'm an infection control specialist, as I mentioned before. So I go to buildings from Maryland all the way to New Mexico, all the way to Vegas, and I go into these hospitals and into these care homes, and I get to survey how they are protecting their patients and their community against infection, and I get to make recommendations on how they can do that better and safer. So as a nurse, there are so many different things that you can do besides just the bedside care or taking care of a sick patient. And I think that's what's important as you look for a career, as you decide what subject am I good at in school, what would I want to do forever. And you know, in nursing, if you enjoy maybe science, and you know, there's a specialty out in nursing now called informatics. And if you like computers and you think maybe that would be something that you're interested in, there's a wonderful job. If you want to be a nurse, who loves computers, you get into informatics and you work on electronic medical records. Everything we do in nursing now is on a computer. We don't document on paper so much anymore. Everything is in a computer, and if you're a nurse, you get to go build these fancy computers for us to put all of our medical records in. And again, that's a nurse does that. A nurse builds that. So there are so many opportunities out there. And I think that's wonderful. Even if you're a nurse and you think I like business and I'm good at math and that's what I want to do, you could run a hospital. You wouldn't have to be a nurse on the floor. We say on the floor, meaning that working behind a med cart or again, direct patient care. You could be the person running the hospital and be more of a business administrative person. So I just know that right now, especially during this pandemic, nurses, we have many different pictures in the media of what we're doing, and we're all working very hard, but there are many of us that do so many different things behind the scenes that make it all come together. So we need more of you, and we're hoping that more young people want to become nurses, because there's one thing that every single one of us have in common, and we all age and we all will get older, and hopefully we all will stay healthy. But again, as I said, at some point in healthcare, we all visit a doctor, and it may be because we just want to stay healthy, or maybe we unfortunately need someone to help us become healthy again. And that means we need nurses. And if it means we need a nurse that helps us build a computer system, or a nurse to hold our hand, or a nurse to give us a pill, we're going to need young people. And I hope that you will be someday giving a career day speech to be a nurse, because the 23 years that I've put into nursing have been wonderful, and I certainly hope that you're interested in becoming a nurse. Thanks for your time.
Meet Melisa Sirna, NP Nurse Practitioner. Here's a story she sent to us for Morgan County's virtual career day from Miss Sirna. I initially went to school when I graduated from high school to become a nurse. After 4 years of school, I became a registered nurse and worked at the hospital in the emergency room and other medical floors. I worked as a nurse for 10 plus years. I loved being a nurse and was able to help a person who was sick in every way, by helping them to get clean, by helping them take a bath, helping them learn how to get out of bed again after being so weak, and watching them walk for the first time in days or sometimes weeks, by helping to clean a wound and put dressing on it and being able to watch it heal over time, by giving patients medications to help them get healthy because of infection or because they had a bad heart. I have done CPR on so many patients, I cannot remember how many. This is when someone's heart stops, or maybe they have had an accident and stopped breathing, and you have to give chest compressions and breaths to save their life. Some people you save, and unfortunately, there are many that do not make it. That is the hardest part about being a nurse, watching a person die because of an accident or because they have cancer, for example, holding their hand as they take their last breath. The hardest part is the end of someone's life. After 10 years of being a nurse, I wanted to be the one making the orders. I wanted to be the one a person comes to figure out what is wrong, then fix it for them. So I went back to school for another 4 years to become a family nurse practitioner. I see anyone from babies to the elderly. I can diagnose a problem, that means figure it out. I know what or how to treat that problem, and then let the patient know what to do. I have worked in the COVID unit diagnosing and treating COVID, and I never got COVID. I work at urgent care. There I get to figure out what is wrong with a patient after they tell me how they're feeling, then assessing them, which means listening to their hearts, lungs, stomach, etc., looking at their skin, eyes, ears, mouth, etc. And then I write prescriptions for illnesses like strep throat or stomach aches, stitches for cuts, slings or casts for broken bones. I also work at a vascular clinic. This means I help people's veins become healthy. Your veins are like pipes that bring blood back to your heart, but sometimes they stop working well and the blood goes backwards. So we can take the veins out or put medications in them to help them work properly. Some pros about being a nurse is helping to get a patient better and knowing to help my family if they are sick. Some cons or some negative things is that sometimes patients do not always listen to your recommendations and they do not get better. And also, you never stop working. The hours are long and there's a lot of paperwork and computer work to keep track of a person's health. Thanks for listening, and I hope you have a great career day.
Hello and welcome to this virtual career day. My name is Jeremiah and I'm an operations supervisor at a retail distribution center, which is basically a warehouse that takes all different kinds of products from all over the world and sends it to a store. A typical day for me consists of partnering with other supervisors and figuring out what our goals are for the day, or basically how much work we got to do for the day. I'll then take that information and partner with my team and let my team know how much work we got to do for the day, what obstacles that we might have, any changes to company policies or anything like that. And I'll also stretch with the team. Stretch joints out and muscles because distribution is very labor intensive. Also throughout the day, I'll partner with my peers to make sure that whatever work plan that we had or blueprint that we had is on the right track. So I've been doing this job for roughly 18 years or so. So in order to get where I am now, I started from the ground level. I was a shipper where I would take boxes off a conveyor line, put them on a pallet, wrap the pallet, and load it back onto a truck. So I just worked my way up over the last 18 years. I do have a college degree. I have been able to partner with other people in different parts of the world, and I've taken that experience and applied it to the job that I have now. The best part I like about this job is the people, and that is actually why I got into becoming an operations supervisor. I really like interacting with folks of different personalities, different backgrounds, because it is not easy working with a mixed group of people. So being able to work with a mixed group of people, being able to show support to that group of people, and seeing a large insurmountable goal and being able to pull together as a team to make that goal happen, there is no other feeling in the world. So that's the satisfaction I get from the job. The one thing I don't like about the job is the sometimes insecurity about the market or the economy, because if customers don't buy your products, that impacts the business. So there can be a little bit of insecurity there with that. A base salary for a supervisor or someone in my position ranges from anywhere from $45,000 to $50,000 to about $70,000. So I know that's a large area, but it's all based off of experience and schooling or education. So again, I have a associate's degree, but I have also about 18 years experience in distribution. So thank you very much for joining me.
Hey, I didn't order any pizza.
Jake from State Farm. After you saved me so much dough on insurance with that Parker promo, I devised a promo for you.
Here's the deal, Parker. State Farm offers everyone surprisingly great rates.
Yeah, right. Pepperoni pockets, an atomic brownie, cuckoo crusty.
There's no promo, it's just great rates.
And a cider ranch. You're the man.
When you want the real deal, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hello, good morning. My name is Luke Christie. I'm the State Farm insurance agent here in Berkeley Springs, West Virginia. I've been a State Farm agent for 38 years, and our business is trying to help people recover from the unexpected. So folks will come in and pay us a premium so we can insure their car or their home, and then if they have a loss to their car or their home, then we pay them to have the damages repaired. So with that, we are helping out in the community in regards to folks that have a traumatic experience, and then we make them whole again. So we have a lot of positive community things going on through our office. We get to meet and greet all the members of our community, and they tell us about what's going on and all the positive things that are happening in their lives. And we also like to contribute to helping out the high school and other schools. And we also work with the Rotary Club and other organizations throughout the community. So it's a wonderful partnership we have with the community. So thank you very much and have a great day.
Hey everyone, my name is Mike Banks. I'm going to spend a few minutes with you explaining what I do as a job. I work in cybersecurity, which is a fancy word of basically keeping the bad guys out of the company that I work for. Many companies connect to each other using a network and are part of the internet. And there are so many bad guys out there that are connected to the internet that are trying to either gain information, steal information from companies, and we're trying to keep them out. So bad guys on the internet could be connected using laptops or iPads, iPhones, like many of us have, even game controllers. Bad guys can connect to the internet using that stuff. I started out my career after graduating from Shepherd University with a business administration degree, and I knew that I wanted to do something technical, so I started at an internet company back then when the internet was really growing and kind of new, so that kind of tells you how old I am. And I kind of learned along the way, got some certifications, and ended up in cybersecurity. One of the things that I really like about cybersecurity, just like being in the intermediate school or middle school, you have to constantly learn to keep up and to keep one step ahead of the bad guys. A dislike is that sometimes it's very time consuming, even after work. When, let's say, you're watching a football game or hanging out with your friends, sometimes the work creeps in and consumes your time. A good example of that was a few Thanksgivings ago. We had friends in from Connecticut. I was coaching basketball and had the whole week mapped out, was going to have some fun, eat a lot of turkey on Thanksgiving, and we had a major attack that week, and it consumed my whole week. Even during the night I was on the phone, and so with this job it's kind of a balancing act. There's a lot of good stuff and a lot of bad stuff that sometimes happens. Luckily, the occasions where I'm away from my family and friends, it doesn't happen that often. A positive action that I can think of with this job and any job is teamwork. Teamwork is so important. I really hope that each of you are able to become part of a team sport, whether it be basketball, soccer, cross country, volleyball, whatever. Maybe be part of the band, acting, cheerleading, whatever. I hope that you're able to become part of a team sport because it's so important in business. It's so important to be able to work with other people, to disagree with other people, to even argue. Sometimes that's important, and to be able to be friends afterwards. There are so many times when we argue and you feel like you don't like the person afterwards, but it is so important to be able to work as a team, because when you end up making a decision as a team, it's so much better than just making a decision as an individual person. And I think that's my advice to you as you grow up, is look for the opportunities to be a part of a team. I wish you all the best of luck. Take care.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jessica Close. I'm here today to talk to you about being a doctor for your career day. I'm going to start by talking to you about the amount of education needed to become a doctor. First thing you need to do is graduate high school. After high school, most doctors go on to receive an undergraduate degree from a 4-year college. After college, doctors then go on to medical school, which is another 4 years. After medical school, we do something called a residency, which can last as little as 3 years, but can last much longer depending on the specialty that we choose. Some of the specialties that you can choose are family medicine, emergency room physicians, dermatology, surgeon, radiology, or any type of physician that you can think of. Now we're going to talk about some of the instruments or tools that doctors use to learn about what is going on inside of the body. This is a stethoscope. I'm sure most of you have seen this whenever you have gone to the doctor. This is used to listen to heart and lungs, and also your abdominal sounds called your bowel sounds. So whenever we're listening to your lungs, we're listening through the back. Whenever we're listening to the heart, we can listen to it through the front of your upper chest. And then whenever you listen to your abdominal or bowel sounds, does it go lower on your abdomen? And then whenever we are listening, we have our ears. It's in our ears. Okay. So the next instrument we're going to talk about is called an otoscope. This is used to look inside your ear. So whenever you go to the doctor and complain about ear pain, or you think you have an ear infection, they will usually look inside your ear. Something like this. Just like, talk a little closer. Touch your ear and look in there. Okay? And they're looking at your eardrum to see if maybe it might be infected. And then we also have, it goes on the same end, they call it an ophthalmoscope, which is used to look at your eyes. So the doctor will normally get really close to your eye and look in there. We also have something called a blood pressure cuff, which then goes around your arm. Then you can pump it up and it can get really tight on your arm. And then you will notice somebody will have their stethoscope listening also at the same time. So that measures your blood pressure. The doctors also have many other tools that they can use, such as an ultrasound machine, x-rays, CAT scans, MRIs, to help us learn what is going on inside of the body. Depending on what specialty you choose, depends on the tools that you use on a daily basis. A doctor's schedule will be different depending on which specialty they have chosen. Many physicians will have office hours and see patients in their office throughout the day. Other physicians will spend most of their day in the hospital seeing patients. Other doctors will spend time in both the hospital and in a doctor's office seeing patients. This varies greatly depending on which specialty you choose. We all know that I am making this video and not seeing you at your school for career day due to the coronavirus. If you have to go see your doctor or go to the hospital during this time, you may notice that people are wearing masks or face shields. These help to keep everyone well. So please do not be afraid if you do see people in the hospital or in your doctor's office wearing these types of masks and face shields. Please stay well during this time. I hope you have enjoyed learning about what it is like to be a doctor. It is a very rewarding career where we get to help people.
I'm a country girl at heart, but science has allowed me to be able to go all over the world and all over actually the country and meet a lot of different people. And we've made some changes in the world because of it, and I'm happy for that. Right now, I'm back in Alabama, being a scientist again, working more in regulations at a chemical company, and making sure that, you know, when you get, just say tubing or have a gown and you have coatings on it, that is safe. So you will not get sick, it will not harm you. Even with this COVID-19, the company I work for, we actually do the coatings for the gowns and the masks to make sure that they're safe. So, and food packaging also. So things you eat, the little plastic of the McDonald's bag, the containers, we do the coatings for that to make sure that they're safe and they stay preserved. So science works in all fields, and I've been in a lot of different fields in science.
Oh, Miss Ivy, thank you so much for all you do. All of your positive actions that help protect us and keep us safe. Look what I have right here. This is my mask, boys and girls. Yeah, and I didn't know that. Miss Ivy uses science to help us stay safe and healthy. And you know what? I want to thank you for that, because that shows that you care, and that shows that you have respect and empathy for others using science to help our well-being. That's really cool.